So these memes are being triggered, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's a reason why I'm getting what I'm getting to, and I'm getting to this. Memes and memetics are buried somewhere in something called your conscience. And I'm beginning to wonder, while I'm reading the news, just where the conscience lies with the United States of America. Where the conscience lies in the country. Because every one of us is programmed to answer to certain voices. Now, the conscience is the voice of what's inside of you, what tells you what you feel is good or bad. What you feel is justice and what you feel is injustice. And if you hear that voice inside of you telling you that something is wrong, and we've been talking about that gut feeling a lot, right? And then Chertoff gets up and says, I have a gut feeling there's going to be some terrorism going on. That gut feeling we've been talking about for a while. If your conscience is gnawing at you and telling you that what is going on is wrong, then it is time to say something about it. It is time to speak up and mention and basically correct people. If we have to start being critical parents with people who are idiots, and what I'm getting at is those who believe that the neocons are overnight geniuses and those who believe that liberals are really here to help, I think we need to stop and say, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. You're not a genius, and you're not helping anything. I'm serious. And I'm sorry if I step on your politics, but politics are stupid. Politics is stupid, and they are very stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. If you're falling for it, you're really, really, really going to be in big trouble. How many people are paying attention to the television show 24? Here's a meme for you. Guess who the President of the United States is going to be? It's going to be a woman. Ooh, we're not preparing the world for anything, are we? No. The only qualified candidate is who? Hillary Clinton. Why? Because she's going to change everything. No, she's not. She's not changing anything. And they're already weary. How many people saw the image in USA Today of Hillary Clinton? Just like that. It was the most, I wish I could have brought it in. I left it at work. Just like that. Putting her hand up there, just a good old fascist salute, because that's exactly what she is, a fascist. She's another neocon who wears the clothing of some liberal who's trying to help. And then she'll be hailed as a genius if something changes, and we're all going, ooh, the change. In the meantime, here's some more British people. Dance them out in front of you. They're royalty. Yay. No. No, 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 no. We need to start listening to our conscience. How many people have paid attention to the story of that guy that he was in Iraq? He was military. He murdered an Iraqi man, and he tried to make it look like a suicide. How many? Did you hear that story? Okay. How many people heard what happened to the guy that did it? He got discharged, and he was brought down a rank. That's it. He killed someone, yeah. He killed someone. He murdered someone and made it look like it was an accident or a suicide. They found him guilty, and yet all they could give him was a discharge and a removal and a drop of rank.
Clyde, we don't keep track of Iraqi deaths. All right, come on. These are not people.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they are suspicious brown people until proven otherwise in this country. And, yeah, they're not people. Some of them, we wonder. We wonder if they wipe their butts like we do. I mean, come on. This is where your conscience needs to start playing, okay? How many people saw the interview with Tammy Faye before she croaked? Ooh. That was the most horrible thing I have ever seen on television. And you know what's really sad? Go to YouTube tonight when you get home and look up Tammy Faye Messner and her last interview and read what they wrote about her. Cruel things being said about her. And throughout that whole interview, she's trying to keep her dignity, and she's 68 pounds of flesh and makeup. I mean, you know, I'll tell you now, I'm glad they cremated her. Because no makeup in the world was going to make her look better because she was looking horrible. But the thing that stood out with her was her spirit. She still maintained her cheerfulness even though she was in pain. And someone had pointed out to me, and I didn't notice this, that she actually coughed up blood into a handkerchief while she was on the show. And I didn't notice that, and I'm not going to be morbid enough to go back and look at it. But still, the conscience of the American people to actually go on a YouTube site and post these horrible things about Tammy Faye, in my opinion, is, I mean, okay, you can say what you will about the Bakers or Tammy Faye or whatever. I met Tammy Faye. I thought she was amazingly good. I thought she was funny. She was a cheerful woman. I know Ron Jeremy. He told me the same thing about her. She's a great person, okay? And to have people just immediately pick on someone as they're dying, how is it that we become vultures and we pick at things and we pick at them until we can't pick at them anymore? Until there's nothing left of them. Their spirits are gone. Everything's gone about them. How do we look away from a guy in the military who murders an Iraqi person and then gets just demoted a rank and discharged? How many times do we hear on the news about police officers that go into the police brutality phase and immediately they're justified because they come up with some cockamamie idea? Well, they were on drugs. That qualifies it right there. They were on drugs and therefore they need to be shot 15 times. Oh, and tased for good measure after they were shot dead. I mean, those are extremes. But these are extremes we need to pay attention to, and these are extremes that we need to start speaking up about, because if your conscience is screaming at you loud and clear to move or to say something, then by God, say something. Please, say something. Go ahead.
Pardon me. By training, the cops are told to say, I felt my life was threatened, so I had to use deadly force. And I think we all know that. It's just it's a training issue.
Right. Well, it's a training issue, but then you always hear in the news that everybody's exonerated. I mean, even when it's obvious. Remember there was this, I guess, Iraqi soldier that came back from the war. He was speeding in his car. That justified him to be shot 3 times on video. And the cop, he got off. The guy didn't get off so well, but the cop got off. And see, this isn't rag on cops and rag on military night at Ground Zero Lounge. This is rag on your conscience night at Ground Zero Lounge. This is what these mimetic triggers are triggering. They're triggering certain things in you to just immediately go, yeah, whatever. It's going to happen anyway. Might as well be someone else and not me. And people cop that attitude. They cop that attitude because they don't have to deal with it every day. They don't see the pain that's left behind. They don't hear the discouragement in people's voices when they ask them what they're planning on doing with their lives 5 years down the road. You know, I talk with students every day, and I ask them this question all the time. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'll tell you right now, not a whole hell of a lot of them even think they're going to make it 5 years. How many people in the audience think they're going to make it 5 years by applause? Really? How many people think you're going to make it 5 years as a United States citizen? How many people think you're still going to be a United States citizen in 5 years? Really? Some of you still think you're going to be in the United States of America? Really? Citizen of the United States of America as you see it now, Brian? How many people know that they just issued the new microchips just yesterday? How many people heard that?
I did.
No,
I don't think it's going to be the same, and I think that we all need to start taking some sort of action, starting with myself. But it's very hard to get started doing something. But doing something is important.
I can tell you right now, in 5 years, I don't believe the United States of America is going to be the same country, and it's not going to even be the United States of America. It's going to be the North American Union, and we're going to have Canada and Mexico joining us together as a force as the European state becomes a European state. And there will be a monarchy that will be in place that will balance both countries. Watch. Go ahead.
Okay.